Praises to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of James rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And Shalom Shabbat. Now, the people probably know what's going on. That woman who attacked the teen. And yeah, just to really show how Jake is really in a feminine spirit right now. And you know, if you can't deal with the light chastisement that you're getting right now, are you gonna deal with, you know, these famines, you know, and the sword being laid upon, you know, society, which is blatantly what's coming, man. But Jake is in a real feminine spirit and he's not gonna make it. This is why it says, you know, 7 women shall lay hold of 1 man. They're not gonna be laying hold of dudes like this, man, because you can tell what kind of spirit he's in, because he's not raised his son to be a man and to gird up his loins. Let's get that. This is 1 Peter 1:13. Wherefore gird up your loins. Let me start again. 1 Peter 1:13. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is brought unto you at the revelation of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So as men, we're supposed to gird up our loins. And what does gird mean? Let's see what gird means, because I don't even know the meaning. Prepare a sword by a belt. So you're supposed to be in that manly spirit where you're prepared for war, you know, fast and secure. And as you watch this video,
we were hearing from the parents of a 14-year-old teenager who was allegedly attacked by a woman in a New York hotel and then wrongly accused of taking her phone.
How they
Jazz musician Keon Harrell recorded this video of Mia Ponsetto approaching his son Keon Harrell Jr. and then falsely accusing him of stealing the phone. Surveillance video later shows her tackle the teenager to the ground. Ponsetto now faces a series of charges, including attempted assault. In an exclusive interview, she told us she is sorry. We asked the teen's parents how he's coping with this very traumatic incident and for their reaction to her apology and arrest.
I'm happy that she's been arrested, but that's only the first step in a very big conversation that needs to happen here in America. That has to.
And this is Jake's problem. You know, he wants to be accepted in America. He wants to make a covenant with the heathen where they understand his point of view and have sympathy for him, and it's never going to happen. Where is it? Deuteronomy 28:16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in a field. So Jake don't realize he's cursed everywhere he goes. Regardless of where you go, you're going to be cursed. You can go back to Africa or Jamaica, wherever the hell you want. Them curses are still going to follow your ass. And he doesn't understand this, which is why they're on TV. And why would you want to be on TV? At the end of the day, you're saying your son doesn't like the fact that he's all over the news, but then you're going on the news instead of seeking privacy. So Jake is backward and a hypocrite, man.
Racial profiling. If I had done that, what my Pensada done to my son, I'd be in jail now.
Yeah, you would, because you're cursing the
If I had hurt her in any way, I'd be in jail now. We wouldn't even be able to have this conversation. As a black man, every day I want
and there goes
in the best scenarios to give him a chance to win, to give him a chance to be a whole young man, a whole young boy, black boy. We've been all over the world, and to be
now, as the elders say, you know, you're not black. You know, Jake really needs to stop saying that, because when you say that, you're really saying you're stupid and you don't understand your own heritage. You're labeling yourself as a byword. It's like calling yourself a nigger. You know, it don't make no sense, but
our beloved New York City, and this happened, I'm appalled.
I am not asking you to justify your behavior or defend yourself against her. Please know that. But her version is that, you know, I was grabbed.
Pushing her away to protect my son? Yes. I'm a man who don't believe in hurting women. First,
okay, well, he keeps talking about, you know, hurting women and all of this. And let's go. Proverbs 13:24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him at times. And when you go into the word chasteneth, It basically it means to discipline. You're meant to discipline your son. Let's look at this word real quick. And Jake don't realize when you discipline your child, they're not going to be bugging out over things like that. To chastise is to discipline, punish, or severely criticize. So him as a man, when you keep listening to it, you can tell he's not chastised or he's not disciplined his son. He's in a real feminine spirit. You can just tell by his colored locks and how he speaks. He's making a covenant with the heathen.
Be consistent. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I apologize. Can we move on? Those were the exact words that she used with you. Does that sound like an apology? She knew she assaulted a 14-year-old boy, not a guy, not a man.
Keon Jr. comes from a musical family. His mother is a singer and a saxophonist for Beyonce. His father is a Grammy Award-winning trumpeter. They say they are using music to help their son heal from this incident.
Thank God my friends alive.
Keon Jr. wrote a song called Unjustified Times, and he recorded it with friends while he played the drums. Kat, I'd like to know how he recorded it with friends.
That's his friends.
While he played the drums. Kat, I'd like to know how he's doing.
When I went to hug him from behind, because we have such a great relationship. He said, Mom, he tensed up. He literally tensed up. He said, Mom, can I ask you not to do that? I can't.
Nah,
I can't.
So his mom went to hug him and he tensed up. So that child is basically in a feminine spirit, in the same way that this Jake is in a feminine spirit. And you can see they're probably down with that Queen of Heaven worship. They got, this demon in the background. And she works for the demon. And he's, in the society because he wants to be as one of these people. So he's not made his child gird up his loins, and he doesn't really love his child because he's not disciplined him. He's not put him in a manly spirit. See, Jake is in a very feminine spirit, and if you're acting like this over a woman assaulting you, I mean, I went through way more than that at 14, and the Lord has really prepared his elect to be in a manly spirit. Most of these men are not in a manly spirit. That's why it talks about 7 women laying hold of one man, because when all of this stuff hits the fan, these women are going to see the value of actual men and not males like this, because they're not going to be able to survive what's happening. When somebody's looking to bash your brains in and you're sitting there and you're trying to reason with them, it just shows how incapable of logic you are. Now this man is trying to reason with a society that hates him. This is Joshua 1:9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord Yahweh thy power is with thee whithersoever thou goest. So we're in the spirit of leaning on the Lord. This man is in the spirit of leaning on Babylon. So at the end of the day, he's not going to be able to handle what's going on, because when all this stuff is hitting the fan, he's going to be dialing 999 to get help. Let's go into the word dismayed. There it is. Dismay. Cause someone to feel concern and distress, and their child is distressed because he's not been raised by a real man of the Lord, and he's not in a manly spirit, so he's breaking down over the slightest things. I mean, your mum's hugging you and you're having a panic attack. I mean, by the time I was this age, I'd got my ass beat by police. I had E calling me a nigga, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this would have been water off a duck's back. I remember being arrested for defending myself because E hit. I was like 16. E came and just punched me in the side of my head. I ended up hitting him back and popping his nose, and they arrested me. They didn't charge him for assaulting me, even though he hit me first. They let that man go. Now you gotta think, if I was drunk and I hit a little Edomite kid at my age now, and I was drunk and he was 16 and he defended himself and he punched me and popped my nose, I doubt they probably would have even arrested him. They would have found out what the situation was right there and then they would have arrested my ass for assaulting the little Edomite kid. This is the kind of society you live in. Because at the end of the day, as it goes, Ecclesiasticus 10:2, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So you live in a society of hypocrites, of feminine men, because he is effeminate. He doesn't understand righteous judgment. So a lot of people look at this and they'll be like, oh my god, the poor kid. But you don't understand judgment. Yeah, you have to look at the father and wonder why the kid is in a spirit where he's breaking down over something, and where they're talking about, he can't look on his phone because he's distressed by what he sees. These times you're on TV making a bigger deal out of it, because really and truly you're trying to use this as a come up. All this little waterworks that the guy has been through stuff. I mean, you got dudes in the hood going through way more than what this kid is going through. At the end of the day, he still has his two parents. What are you having panic attacks over?
I can't.
Why did he ask you not to do that?
Because this young lady, which I will not say her
It's
name,
because he's weak. That's
she does
all
not
it is.
deserve that. This young lady
He's not even answering the question.
blindsided him in the hotel. He keeps on asking the question, why? Like,
Because
why
you're
me,
hated
Mom?
in the
You know I
field.
wouldn't steal anything. I didn't know her. Why? As a mother,
See, they've not had that talk with their son where they basically told them, you're a nigger and you're gonna have to be going through this all the days of your life. And if you can't handle a little small chastisement like this, how are you gonna handle when there's famine and there's no food and people are breaking into your house? He's gonna break down. This is what I'm saying. This society is built up these soft men who are not able to deal with adversity.
to have to answer that question,
It's tough to look in her being arrested more than what it is, because the person who killed Trayvon Martin is free. The person who blamed Emmett Till is still alive. Things could have gone another way.
This isn't
What
your
does
place to
justice
rest,
look
Jake.
like for your family at this point, for the both of you?
Justice,
They that slay them and hold themselves not guilty. There's no justice coming for you, man.
I think the idea of justice, just like the idea of the apology, is so much more than just saying I'm sorry, because people can say I'm sorry and it's empty. Justice has to do with change.
See, Jake can understand justice and justice and an apology shows in a different behavior. See, you can come to that conclusion, but you can't come to the conclusion that he hates you because he apologizes, but his behavior doesn't change. So this just showed you what bugged out the society is, man. Because you're cursed in the sea and you're cursed in the field. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it, man. I ain't got no more of this, man. At the end of the day, if you're not gonna gird up your loins in this society, man, you're not gonna survive what's happening. If you're bugging out over a little small thing like that, Jake is not in a manly spirit, man. Jake is in a feminine spirit, and you can even see how the man acts and how he behaves. It's like he wanted to cry. This is like the worst acting you've ever seen, man. Because these people are not real genuine, man. Because I probably cut over it, but he was talking about how the son is upset because whenever he goes on the phone, he's seeing it. These times you're going on TV and you basically showcasing it and advertising it is gonna put on the internet even more. So then, if you really wanted privacy, would you not, keep the matter private instead of going on Gale? That's because Jake is a hypocrite and Jake acts like a woman. And most Jakes are not going to survive what's happening. Most people are not going to survive what's really happening. And these people have no idea what's coming, man. This, at the end of the day, this is a light chastisement. When the Lord really kicks off, people are going to show their true colors, which is being in that feminine spirit, and women are gonna go back to how they really were, because at the end of the day, you're not, you shouting and you running off your mouth is not gonna work, because people, like, you're just gonna get slapped and the dude's just gonna take you behind the dumpster. So these people are in for a rude awakening for everything that's coming up. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom Shabbat.